Hey, we are talking about how you can get into your labor groove, how you can help labor progress naturally. I'm Annabelle, RN, BSN, birth doula, and mama, and I'm here to build your confidence in birth. Subscribe to my channel and ring that bell to stay up to date to my latest content. When I talk about getting into your labor groove, helping labor progress naturally, I am talking about big picture here. I'm not talking about tips and tricks and all these definitions and names that you need to remember. You get to paint your own labor picture. And so when you get into labor, your hormones, they don't care about definitions and all these tips that you learned. Your hormones care about if you feel safe and secure, and if you're moving your body and listening to your body to help your baby come into this world. And so that's what we're gonna dive into here, is some things that I can recommend to you to do to encourage you in your labor process, but have the confidence, mom, that you know how to do this. In a previous video, I talked about prostaglandins and oxytocin, and I'll link that video up in the cards above. And so if you wanna go watch it, check it out. But I specifically talked about prostaglandins being released into mom's tissue as her due date approaches. And those prostaglandins can start to soften and ripen mom's cervix. And the cervix has to start to get ready before it can open and thin out. And so mom can do some things to naturally induce her labor. There are medical inductions, reasons that doctors will induce labor, but mom, if she has no complications, can do a couple of things to help her body get into labor. And I recommended sexual intercourse, where mom has an orgasm and dad has ejaculation. So those two things together with sexual intercourse will soften and ripen that cervix, as well as nipple stimulation. And nipple stimulation can happen during sexual intercourse, or mom can do it in a hot shower or with warm washcloths. So those are two things that can really start the process of labor. But now, we don't want to stop there. We want to help labor continue. There are moms that start labor, they feel like, okay, I'm getting on a pattern here, and then all of a sudden that pattern goes away. The contractions become a little erratic. For some reason, things just aren't moving forward, and we are gonna keep that from happening to you. Because the labor groove is a long process, especially if you're a first-time mom. Your body is trying to figure all this out. Your uterus is trying to contract in a very methodical way that helps your baby move down into your pelvis and out into this world. So what do you need to do? Well, you need a few things first. First of all, you need the mental preparation of, yes, I can do this, I am confident in this. And that is going to be the biggest key player in all of this. How is your mind? Are you confident? Are you strong? Are you ready to do this? Even if you have some questions still, I completely understand that. You're not going to go into birth saying, I know everything and I am not afraid at all. But what is dominant? Is your confidence dominant, or is your fear dominant? So let's get to the point where your confidence is dominant. Having things like mantras or encouraging words taped around the room where you're going to start your labor process. Having meditation and relaxation exercises that you know that you can do now and in labor. So you definitely need to have a ready mindset. Also, having a birthing ball. I love birthing balls. Peanut balls are great as well, especially if you think that you're going to be in bed to labor. Some peanut balls work better than your exercise balls. Having a Rebozo, just a big piece of fabric. You can order these online, or you can just use a bed sheet or anything that works for you. And this can be used around your abdomen in labor. And you can have your birth coach behind you sifting the Rebozo to give more room to baby, softening up some of the ligaments, and giving you comfort in your labor process. Also, having things like your legs, because you're gonna be doing a lot of walking. So make sure that you have the mental preparation of, I've got my legs, I've got my birthing ball, I've got my Rebozo. Where is your birth coach? Every laboring mom needs continuous labor support. I am so on board with this. I'm going to encourage you in this in every video. Where is your labor coach? And are they ready to support you in the way that you need to be supported in your labor process? Once you have all these things, then we can start to do the things that will help your labor progress naturally. There are three things that are key to helping your labor progress naturally: your breath, your posture, and your movement. With your breath, that is foundational to helping you cope with your labor progress and making sure that you feel safe and comfortable. If you are breathing erratically, if you are hyperventilating, you are not going to be able to focus on helping your body cope with the pain. So when the first stage of labor comes, your contractions are building, the pain is increasing, your contractions are becoming more frequent, and they're starting to get longer. Having deep cleansing breaths, making sure that your breath is slow and controlled. And as your labor progresses, your breath is going to change. And I have another video, I'll link it in the cards above, where you can learn how to breathe through each stage of labor. Your posture, the way that you sit, the way that you stand, and the way that you are positioned is very key to helping your baby come down into your pelvis and press evenly on your cervix. We've talked about hormones. Oxytocin is key to helping your contractions continue and giving you the sensation of, I am bonding with my baby, I'm trusting my baby, and we can do this together. And I said sensation, it's more than a sensation. That oxytocin is traveling into your brain and telling your brain that you can do this. Body release endorphins, help mom cope with this and have a good birth memory. And so when you are sitting up in a very straight posture, your spine is straight and you're leaning forward slightly, your baby's gonna have more room in your uterus. Your baby will more easily navigate around your pelvis and all of the little bony projections that baby has to maneuver around, get down into your pelvis and press baby's head evenly on your cervix. When baby can do that, because you're in a very forward-leaning, straight posture, then your cervix has even pressure, and that allows your cervix to open and thin out. It sends signals to your brain, release more oxytocin. Let's keep this whole labor process going in a very smooth and successful fashion. So sitting up straight, if you need to sit on the floor in Indian style so that you are able to sit up in a straight position. I love my birthing ball because there's no back to it. I can sit forward, it opens up my pelvis and it feels great. And I know in this way that I'm allowing more room for my baby. My spine is straight. Have good posture, mom. You can start practicing all of these positions now before you get into labor to just get your body used to it. But once you feel like my contractions are building and the pain is increasing, make sure that you're on your birthing ball or you're sitting on the floor in Indian style or you're leaning forward with cat-cow or you're leaning over a pillow, leaning over your birthing ball. Listen to your body, but being mindful that your spine is straight and you're allowing room for baby inside of your uterus. And number 3, movement. You've helped those prostaglandins be released, your cervix is softening, you start to notice those contractions building. This is not the time to sit back and recline and watch TV. This is the time for you to get into your groove, start walking. Get outside if you need to at first to just get some fresh air, get you in the mindset of labor is starting. You'll be excited when it first starts. You'll have the energy, but make sure that you pace yourself. So getting outside and walking, and I especially recommend curb walking. So this is where one foot's up on a curb and the other is on the road or on the sidewalk. And this is oblong walking. You can also do this on the beach where the sand is soft, and this awkward side-to-side movement is going to help your pelvis move and help baby maneuver down into your pelvis. Again, when baby can maneuver down into your pelvis, baby is going to put even pressure on your cervix. That's going to allow the cervix to soften and open more and thin out, sending signals to your brain. Keep those contractions coming, keep labor going smoothly. You can be inside in a very dark, quiet, relaxing environment on your birthing ball, where you are bouncing on your birthing ball, helping baby to come down and press on your cervix. Rotation, so circular movements on your birthing ball, moving your pelvis side to side, forwards and backwards. These are all, again, mom, things that you're listening to your body about. I recommend squats, lunges, leaning over your birthing ball, etc. Again, this is a big picture. This is things that you're doing listening to your body. And when we do all of these different things, we are using gravity, and gravity is your friend here. We want gravity to help your baby move down into your pelvis, press evenly on your cervix, and come out into this world to meet you. All of these things, like I said, are very natural movements. These are things that you're going to be doing in labor, whether you're thinking about it or not. Listen to your body. If you get to a point in your labor where your healthcare provider, your OBGYN or midwife, checks your cervix and says you're not progressing, we might have to do some things to augment your labor, give you Pitocin, break your bag of waters, etc. And those things are not on your birth plan, they're things that you don't want to happen, then stop the room, ask your healthcare provider, can you give me 5 more minutes? Let me try some things that maybe I haven't tried yet because I'm not ready to put those things into my body to have that intervention happen to me. Mom, you are in control, but you have to be fully in control of the situation, of what's going on around you and what's happening in your body. And I know some things happen that are out of your control. I'm not minimizing that, but I do recommend that you don't just sit back in bed once you feel those contractions starting because you have helped those prostaglandins be released. Continue to help your body with that oxytocin and help your baby come out to meet you. If you're interested in natural birth and what the steps are to get to your natural birth, check out my free workbook in the description below. I'd love to give you my free 4-step process. I'll see you in the next video.